This spells major disaster for Social Security. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, now in this video, I want to discuss some new information that recently hit the wire that is causing a lot of concerns about Social Security as a whole and, of course, Social Security monthly benefits. As we know, monthly benefits go out to tens of millions of beneficiaries who are seniors, older adults, and, of course, people with disabilities every single month. And we also know the vast majority of beneficiaries rely on their monthly benefit for the majority of their monthly income. Therefore, this is causing a lot of concern, so I want to get into it and talk about what's going on and what this new report is now suggesting. Let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and I am your one and only daily advocate. I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, doing all the necessary research and watching all this new information hitting the wire and letting you know what is actually going on during this very busy and crazy time as things continue to change literally every single day. I truly want to help you out in any way that I can, and of course point out anything out there right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of, including money, benefits, raises to benefits, checks, programs, stimulus, or anything else like that, and of course point out how all of this is going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course everything else going on out there right now. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. It's totally free to do so, and I'll be here for you every single day. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, I'm sticking to it. All right, let's jump into it and talk about what's going on, what are these reports that are hitting the wire, and why are so many people concerned about Social Security? Now, here's the thing. We've been hearing for a very long time now. In fact, ever since I was a little kid, I remember hearing it way back in the day, and I'm sure you've been hearing it for years as well. Social Security is going broke, Social Security is bankrupt, Social Security is ending, whatever it happens to be. We hear all of these phrases, we hear all of this. However, has it happened yet? No. Is it likely going to be happening anytime soon? No. However, there may be some other issues going on with Social Security that would directly impact Social Security beneficiaries, and that is what I want to focus on here in this video. Now again, I want to make it very clear, I am not here to instill fear in anybody, I'm not here to scare anybody, but rather at the same time, we need to be staying in tune with what is actually going on, because if you're a fixed income beneficiary and if you're somebody receiving Social Security, you probably want to know what's going to go on here, because at the end of the day, if it's going to possibly impact your monthly benefit, you probably want to know about it, right? At least I would, right? It's like going to a job. If all of a sudden your boss came to you one day and said, hey, you know, I was about to tell you, but I forgot, your pay is going to be reduced by 20%. Oh yeah, have a nice day. I'll catch you later. You know what I mean? We would want to know about that probably ahead of time so we could possibly bail on the job or, you know, maybe renegotiate things like that. So again, you certainly want to stay up to date with everything going on here, especially Social Security. It's a very, very important program. A lot of people are applying literally every single day, tens of thousands of people every month, and literally millions of people every single year are applying and getting new benefits. So, very big program. All right, so there's a couple different concerns that I've come across recently since the Social Security Administration has announced the annual cost of living adjustment. Now, this video is not all about the COLA, but that is one of the concerns that I've seen floating around out there as well. So there's a couple different situations here that are kind of playing out all at the same time, and that's kind of what I want to hit on here in this video. All right, so number one, a new report that was just released is showing that now the labor participation rate is at 62.2%. Okay, now what is this and what does it mean for Social Security? Let me break this down really quickly. I'm not going to go into a ton of depth on this, but I want to break it down for you because this actually does play a significant role in Social Security, even though we're talking about the labor participation rate. Why? What does this have to do with Social Security? Let me break it down for you. So here's what it comes down to. This latest report is showing labor participation rate is at 62.2%. In other words, anybody who is aged 16 or older who is looking for work or is actually working is included in that 62.2% number. However, that also means that anybody aged 16 or over, it means that 37.8% of the population, basically 16 or over, is not working, okay? Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. It's not a good or a bad thing. It is what it is, right? It just is. That's it, okay? Now, here's the thing. Why does this matter? Now, historically, the labor participation rate here in the United States generally hovers around 63%. However, we're sitting 0.8% lower than that. I know it doesn't seem like much, but guess what? Over the span of, say, 333 million people in the United States, that's a lot of people. Millions of people is what that encompasses into, right? So why does that matter? Here's the thing. When people work, what do? Well, they work, they trade their time for money in the form of hourly wages or a salary, and guess what happens before you get to see that money? Well, you get taxed on it, right? There's federal taxes, there's state taxes if you're located in a state that has taxes, and then of course there's also Social Security and Medicare taxes taken out of your paycheck. Well, here's the thing. If there are millions and millions less people working because the labor participation rate is showing us exactly that, that means that it is millions and millions less people that are paying in to the Social Security Trust Fund through their payroll taxes. What does that mean? It simply means less money is going into Social Security. Meanwhile, more and more people are drawing on Social Security every single day, every single week, every single month, and every single year. So you kind of see where the divergence is coming in here, right? So on one hand, we have less people working and we have more people claiming benefits. Do you kind of see the difference here? Yeah, it simply means that the Social Security Trust Fund is potentially at risk of depleting even faster, and the potential insolvency date is possibly coming sooner and sooner because less payroll taxes going in to the Social Security Trust Fund, meanwhile more money going out the door because of beneficiaries claiming the benefits that they've worked for so many years, and finally now it is time to kick back, relax, and watch the Social Security checks roll in, right? Is that what retirement is like? I don't know. I'm not there yet, and I'm very far off at this point, right? But again, I've heard that's what it's like, right? So kick back in your old rocking chair and enjoy, right? I'm not really sure if that's really what it's like. I'm just simply saying that's what I've always heard. I guess maybe someday I'll find out. I don't really know. But this is one of the concerns that's out there right now, okay? So labor participation rate and the trend of this is going down. In other words, less and less people are working. In other words, I've heard it before, and you probably heard this as well. People my age, as in the millennials, apparently are not working as much as the other generations that came before us, right? So again, I'm not here to say anything about, millennials or baby boomers or anybody like that. I'm just simply saying the trend out there right now is that people like my age, like the millennials, maybe just aren't working as much. So again, just want to throw that out there because that is kind of what we're seeing, and the labor participation rate is showing that as well. So that's one of the concerns that's out there right now as well. Now next, let's quickly talk about something else as far as the COLA raise that was recently released by the Social Security Administration in mid-October. Now, what happens with this? Now, obviously, Social Security came out and announced an 8.7% cost of living adjustment going into effect in January 2023. Remember, this is a permanent raise to monthly benefits. Great. This is good, right? Almost a 9% raise. That's awesome. Seriously, this is really, really cool for a lot of beneficiaries. However, get this. This is going to be drawing down the Social Security Trust Fund by about $10 billion more every single month. Not year, not every day, not weekly, but every single month. About $10 billion more is going to be drawn out of the Social Security Trust Fund because of the COLA. That's it. Just because of the 8.7% COLA across all the millions and millions of beneficiaries, we're looking at a reduction of the trust fund by about $10 billion every single month. Now, again, remember, as of the last Board of Trustees meeting with Social Security, the Social Security Board of Social Security Board of Trustees meeting. Apparently, that's hard for me to say. I apologize. The Social Security Board of Trustees meeting that happened several months ago, they showed that they have about $2.89 trillion in the Social Security Trust Fund. But again, that's going to be depleted at the same rate that it is in 2022, plus another $10 billion on top of it going into 2023. But then remember also, less people are working and paying in through Social Security payroll taxes. Again, do you see the divergence here? Less people working, more people claiming benefits. So I've used this analogy before, but let me show you it one more time now. So picture my fingers, right? We got two lines like this. Over time, we've got the bottom line that goes down. That's basically the money going out of the trust fund, as in less people working and more money going out, right? And that's the number, that's the line going up like that, right? So you kind of see, you like my little analogy here? It's like a little scissors, right? Anyway, my point is there's more money going out of the trust fund that there is coming in, and there's less people working that there were years and years ago. And over the last, it keeps declining. It keeps declining. Less people working, more people claiming benefits. So those lines are diverging, as in the spread is getting greater and greater. So therefore, the insolvency date of Social Security, even though the Social Security Board of Trustees came in, several months ago with that report and showed us that it's going to be 2035 until the Social Security Trust Fund is going to be depleted. Realistically, the calls right now and what people are now saying is just because of these couple changes. The labor participation rate, less people working, less people paying in through Social Security taxes, and then, of course, also the big cost of living adjustment. This could shave off roughly 2 years off of the solvency date on Social Security. So we could possibly be looking at the solvency coming in possibly 2 years sooner. That's kind of scary, but at the same time, remember, this is still about 10, 12, maybe about 13 years out. Depend on how you look at it, depends on where these numbers are now sitting. And remember, sometime mid-2023, we'll be getting the next report out of the Board of Trustees. So that'll give us a better glimpse into what they're projecting as far as how much money is in the trust fund, how much they project is going to be there, and how much longer it's going to last with the current trends. So we'll have to see what happens here. But again, if we still see this very high inflation through 2023, we're likely going to see another very big COLA raise. And again, that's just going to cause more concern for the trust fund to be depleted even faster yet again. And again, as we continue to move forward and we continue to see more beneficiaries claiming Social Security benefits, less people working, we're going to see that divergence even greater, like the little line analogy that I just showed you a couple seconds ago with my fingers, right? I know, I wish I had a better, like I could have pencils, or I could have rulers, I could have anything to make a better analogy than that, but you get my point, right? So these are some of the concerns that I've seen showing up out there, and some of the concerns that I've seen showing, showing up in the headlines as of recently. So I want to bring this to your attention because we got to watch all this closely, even though this is something that may be coming in, say, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, something like that. Remember, if this inflation persists, this could be shaved down significantly. And if less and less people are working, then guess what happens as well? It's going to be shaved down even more, right? So we know it's a long time out in the future, but at the same time, it goes fast, like super fast. I mean, think of the last couple of years here. Can you believe it's been almost 3 years since we started this COVID business? 3 years already. Can you believe it? The last time that we were hanging out on our couches and, it was socially acceptable to do that, to be able to hang out and, everybody was stuck at home at that point, right? That's what we were supposed to be doing. It was almost 3 years ago when that happened. It's craziness, right? Time goes very fast. That's my point, is time goes very, very fast. So we got to watch all this stuff closely, especially if you're a fixed income beneficiary and you plan on claiming benefits for, the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Got to watch all this stuff closely because it will impact a lot of people. Anyway, hope this one helps you out. Again, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. I'm watching all the headlines. I'm watching all this information. I'm doing the research and breaking it down into these videos. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later.